daily dose of practical wit and wisdom with a professional educator and trainer, Amazon best-selling author, United States Marine, television and radio host, Paul G. Markel. Each episode will focus on positive and productive ways to strengthen your mindset and help you improve your relationships, career goals, and overall well-being. Please welcome your host, Paul G. Markel.
Welcome back to another Morning Mindset. I hope that everyone who's listening enjoyed the 14 United States Marine Corps leadership traits, the leadership training program that we did over the last 14 episodes. Now, if for some strange reason this is the first one you've ever listened to, the first Morning Mindset with Paul Markel, well, congratulations and welcome. And you can go back, and I strongly encourage you to go back to the beginning and catch up. But if you do nothing else, go back and let me check my show notes here. I believe we started the Marine Corps leadership training at episode 18. So if you do nothing else, go back to number 18 and move forward and catch up to where we are right now. What are we going to talk about today? Thank you for asking me. A little thing called Don't Tell Me, Show Me. Too many people spend far too much time telling you what they're going to do or telling you what they want to do and so forth. But often these people don't actually do that. And I've got an example for you. For instance, right now, we live in beautiful, we as in my family, we live in beautiful Saratoga, Wyoming. Saratoga is in a place called the Platte Valley. We're about 7,000 feet above sea level. We're nestled in between the Sierra Madre range of the Rocky Mountains and the snowy range of the Rocky Mountains. So it's kind of a valley, and it's called the Platte Valley because the Platte River flows through the valley. It's beautiful in the summertime. May, June, July, August, just gorgeous. September, it's gorgeous up here. But it's also 7,000 feet. We're in Wyoming, and we're in the mountains. And in the wintertime, it's cold, and it's windy a lot. And many people will come during tourist season. They'll come up here during the beautiful time of the year, you know, when it's nice and warm and it's not humid, so even when it's hot, it's not that bad. And they say, oh, we're going to move here. Oh, I'd love to move here. Oh, when we retire, we'd love to come up here. This place is so beautiful, so on and so forth. People say that all the time. People go to beautiful tourist destinations and they say, oh, man, you know, if we could ever arrange it, or, you know, when we retire, or what have you. But that's difficult. And when we, as in my family and I, when we decided to relocate here, we moved almost 2,000 miles from our previous location. And we came up, my wife and I, and we scouted the area. We spent an entire week here in town. We stayed at a bed and breakfast, and we met with, you know, some of the local business owners. We met with a real estate agent. We went to all the normal things that you do. We went to the restaurants, we went to the shops, we went to the stores, we met people, and you know, we drove around the area, and we got a really solid feel for it. And people asked us, well, what are you doing here? And we said, well, we're actually kind of scouting. We're looking to see whether or not we want to move here. And of course, being nice people, they would say, oh, well, you know, that's nice, and yeah, hope you like it, and so on and so forth. And we did that. We did it actually in the month of September. And this is like 2 years ago, month of September. But we did it, and we left, went home, and we started making plans to move. We made the decision to actually do it. Now, we knew that being winter in Wyoming, that we did not want to move our entire household in the middle of the winter. Many of the highways through the mountains are closed for 6 months of the year. Around the end of October, beginning of November, the snow starts flying. They close the highways through the mountains, and that's it. They're just closed until the spring when the snow melts. And there are only a few ways to get in and out of town. So we waited. We waited until spring. We made our plans. We worked with a real estate agent. We made sure that we had a home to move into. It's kind of an important thing. We packed up everything. You know, I own a small business. We packed up 2 households, my oldest son and our family. We packed up an entire business and we moved. We relocated to Saratoga. And when we came back up here in April, at the very beginning, we ran into many of the people that we just talked to during the previous September when we stayed for a week and we were scouting. And they were surprised. They're like, well, you're back. What are you doing? I said, well, we moved here. And they're like, you did? Yes, we did. And you say, well, but you told these people you were going to do that. Why would they be surprised that you were back? Because in our modern world, people all the time talk about what they're going to do. They tell you what they're going to do. And especially in a situation like this where you have a place that's very, very, it's attractive, it's beautiful, it's rustic. There's, the beauty of nature in the warm time. But then in the wintertime, it's not so much. So most people who live in a town like this, they will hear people say things like, oh, this is so beautiful. Oh, we love it here. Oh, we're going to move here. Oh, blah, blah, blah. But when they hear that, they think, yeah, okay, that's nice, but you're never actually going to do it. They don't actually believe that everyone who says how beautiful it is and how much they love the area, they don't believe those people are actually going to go through with it because 99 out of 100 never do. And my question to you is, do you spend more time telling people what you're going to do, or do you spend more time actually doing it? Do you spend time following through with what you said? And in our, with socialist media like the Facebook and the this and the that and the so forth, people are all the time, publicly declaring that they're going to do blank. I'm going to do this, we're going to do that, and so forth. But how many of them actually carry through with that? And I know you're sitting there and you're like, yeah, you're right, Paul. And I'm not accusing you of anything, but let's face facts. In our modern world, most people put more weight on what you say you're going to do or what your intentions are than your actual, results and the actual results of your actions. People have fallen into this trap where they believe that they can voice their intentions. And if they voice intentions, then that's what gets them credit, right? That's not the way it used to be in our world. It used to be people could say, whatever you want. You're like, I don't care what you tell me. Show me. The state motto for Missouri is the show me state. And many people in our, I've been using that. I've been saying, I'm from Missouri, show me, for years. And people say, what does that even mean? Show me, like produce it? Yeah, don't tell me that you're going to do something. Show me what you have accomplished. And I learned that actually in elementary school. I don't know how many of you did it, but when I was in elementary school, we would have to do what we called state reports. And I don't know if I was in 4th grade or 5th grade, it doesn't really matter, but I was in elementary school as a young kid. And you had to pick a state, and then you had to do a 5-minute report on that state. And this was before Google. This is before the internet. This is when you actually had to go to encyclopedias and go to the library and pull out books. I know you're like, what? If I had to go to the library and pull out all those tomes constructed of dead tree, I don't know what I would do. But everybody wanted to do cool states. All the kids wanted to do Texas. All the kids wanted to do Florida and, stuff like that. And I was assigned the state of Missouri. And at the time, I was living in Michigan. So I knew just about nothing about Missouri when I was in elementary school. So I had to research it. And one of the things that I learned was that the state motto was the show me state. And so for years and years, as a professional, whether as an instructor or a teacher or a trainer, I would just say to people, you know what? Don't tell me, show me. Or I would say, I'm from Missouri, show me. And every once in a while, someone would come up and they're like, hey man, what part of Missouri are you from? And it's like, I was being sarcastic, but my point is this. Don't tell me about your intentions. Don't tell me what you plan to do. Actually, show me. So that is my charge to you today as we come to the end of another episode of Morning Mindset. If you find yourself in that position where you're constantly talking about what you're going to do, stop talking about it and do it. Get it done. All right, today's episode is brought to you by the book Team Honey Badger, Raising Fearless Kids in a Cowardly World. And oh my Lord, do we live in a cowardly world today? And if you have children or grandchildren, or you know people who have children or grandchildren, I highly suggest that you pick up the book Team Honey Badger, Raising Fearless Kids in a Cowardly World by an author named Paul G. Markel. And it's available on Amazon as a paperback or as a Kindle. All right, there you go, folks. And we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you for spending time with us today. To get show notes, submit a topic request, and for more from your host, Paul G. Markel, visit morningmindsetpodcast.com. That's morningmindsetpodcast.com. Please leave a review for this podcast on your favorite podcast player. We appreciate your time and effort, and we look forward to reading your honest feedback.